It was meant to be just another ordinary evening, a simple dinner at our favorite restaurant, surrounded by friends and laughter. Daniel, my husband, had just returned from a long business trip, and I thought bringing him back into our circle would help close the gap that had formed between us. What I hadn't anticipated was Ryan, my secret lover, showing up uninvited. He carried the same audacious, confident, and reckless energy that had always pulled me in. Ryan and I had agreed to keep our affair hidden. Yet that night, something about him felt different. His eyes flashed with jealousy every time Daniel smiled at me. I could sense the tension rising between them, but I tried to act as if nothing were wrong. My hands shook slightly as I raised my glass, silently praying the night would pass without incident. Daniel lay very composed, began recounting stories from his trip, laughing and thanking everyone for coming. Ryan, in contrast, sat motionless, jaw tight, eyes locked on me. Then, unexpectedly, Daniel laid his hand gently over mine and said, "I missed you more than I realized." That was the trigger. Before anyone could react, Ryan sprang up the scrape of his chair, cutting through the murmurs around us. He glared at Daniel and shouted, "You don't deserve her!" The room fell completely silent, and then he struck Daniel across the face. The sharp slap echoed through the restaurant, drawing every gaze to us. My heart lurched. Daniel stumbled back, stunned. I froze, caught between the two men. Ryan's expression wasn't triumphant, it was raw, furious pain. "How long are you going to keep pretending, Ege Latemi? Tell him the truth." His voice cracked. It was clear he had lost all control. The onlookers' friends, neighbors, even restaurant staff watched in disbelief as the tension built. My months-long secret affair teetered on the edge of revelation. Daniel turned toward me slowly, eyes narrowing. "What truth?" he asked, his voice calm but deadly. I tried to answer, but my throat closed. The air around me felt suffocating. Ryan shouted again, "Tell him you've been with me! Tell him what you told me about your marriage!" Gasps rippled through the crowd. The world seemed to collapse around me. Daniel's face thinned of color. His jaw tightened as understanding sank in. "Is it true?" he asked, the quiet fury in his voice more terrifying than a shout. Tears welled up, but I remained silent. That silence spoke volumes. He inhaled deeply, met Ryan's gaze, and said icily, "You just made the biggest mistake of your life." What followed was completely unexpected. Daniel didn't retaliate or shout. Instead, he calmly dialed a number on his phone. Within moments, 2 security guards arrived and escorted Ryan out as he continued shouting my name, desperate to reach me. Daniel's composed, calculated demeanor unnerved me more than Ryan's rage ever had. "Wheat!" Ryan Gonay. Daniel faced the room. "Dinner's over," he said evenly, and walked out without another word. I trailed behind, pleading with him to listen, but he didn't glance back. That night, he didn't return home. The next morning, I found a note on the dining table. "Short and cutting. You've chosen your path. I hope he was worth it." My chest tightened as I read it repeatedly. I tried calling him blocked. I called Ryan, no answer. Panic began to creep in. By evening, the news arrived. Ryan had been arrested. Daniel had filed charges for assault and public defamation. Every piece of evidence, including restaurant security footage, had been handed over. My lover, who claimed he would fight for me, now faced jail time. And I was left alone amidst the ruins of both relationships. Days later, Daniel filed for divorce. He quietly removed his belongings and never looked back. Everyone in our community knew what had happened. My humiliation became public. The man who once loved me unconditionally had turned his back entirely, and the man I betrayed him with had destroyed himself trying to defend me. Looking back, I see how swiftly everything crumbled. One slap, one impulsive act, and my world fell apart. I thought I held control over both men, but in reality, I lost the man to myself. Sometimes, a single moment can twist love into shame and truth into punishment. That night, I didn't just lose them. I lost myself